Article 11. Situations of risk and humanitarian emergencies. States parties shall take, in accordance with their obligations under international law, including international humanitarian law and international human rights law, all necessary measures to ensure the protection and safety of persons with disabilities in situations of risk, including situations of armed conflict, humanitarian emergencies, and the occurrence of natural disasters. Article 12. Equal recognition before the law. States parties reaffirm that persons with disabilities have the right to recognition everywhere as persons before the law. States parties shall recognize that persons with disabilities enjoy legal capacity on an equal basis with others in all aspects of life. States parties shall take appropriate measures to provide access by persons with disabilities to the support they may require in exercising their legal capacity. States parties shall ensure that all measures that relate to the exercise of legal capacity provide for appropriate and effective safeguards to prevent abuse in accordance with the international human rights law. Such safeguards shall ensure that measures relating to the exercise of legal capacity respect the rights, will, and preferences of the person, are free of conflict of interest and undue influence, are proportional and tailored to the person's circumstances, apply for the shortest time possible, and are subject to regular review by a competent, independent, and impartial authority or judicial body. The safeguards shall be proportional to the degree to which such measures affect the person's rights and interests. Subject to the provisions of this article, states parties shall take all appropriate and effective measures to ensure the equal right of persons with disabilities to own or inherit property, to control their own financial affairs, and to have equal access to bank loans, mortgages, and other forms of financial credit, and shall ensure that persons with disabilities are not arbitrarily deprived of their property. Article 13. Access to justice. States parties shall ensure effective access to justice for persons with disabilities on an equal basis with others, including through the provisions of procedural and age-appropriate accommodations in order to facilitate their effective role as direct and indirect participants, including as witnesses in all legal proceedings, including at investigative and other preliminary stages. In order to help to ensure effective access to justice for persons with disabilities, states parties shall promote appropriate training for those working in the field of administration of justice, including police and prison staff. Article 14. Liberty and security of person. States parties shall ensure that persons with disabilities on an equal basis with others enjoy the right to liberty and security of person, are not deprived of their liberty unlawfully or arbitrarily, and that any deprivation of liberty is in conformity with the law, and that the existence of a disability shall in no case justify a deprivation of liberty. States parties shall ensure that if persons with disabilities are deprived of their liberty through any process, they are, on an equal basis with others, entitled to guarantees in accordance with international human rights law and shall be treated in compliance with the objectives and principles of the present convention, including by provision of reasonable accommodation. Article 15. Freedom from torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. In particular, no one shall be subjected without his or her free consent to medical or scientific experimentation. States parties shall take all effective legislative, administrative, judicial, or other measures to prevent persons with disabilities on an equal basis with others from being subjected to torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment.